Welcome to Drishti Judiciary. This MCQ series for the Supreme Court Clerk exam will sharpen your accuracy, strengthen concepts, and help you master the exam pattern. Let's begin. Let's start with previous day's practice question. The question was, no substitute performance of contract shall be undertaken unless the party who suffers such breach has given a notice in writing of not less than dash to the party in breach calling upon him to perform the contract within such time as specified in the notice, and on his refusal or failure to do so, he may get the same performed by a third party or by his own agency. 20 days, 30 days, 40 days, or 10 days. The correct answer is option B. The question is based on the principle of substitute performance of contract, which is found under Section 20 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. According to this provision, if a party suffers a breach of contract and wishes to have the contract performed by a third party or by their own agency, they must first give a notice in writing to the party in breach, calling upon them to perform the contract within a specified time. The minimum notice period for this is 30 days. Hence, the correct answer is option B. Let's start today's session. The first question is, in the case of Harjot Singh versus Manpreet Kaur, AIR 2021 DEL 518, the Delhi High Court held that condonation of delay can be granted beyond 90 days if there is a justifiable cause. Condonation of delay beyond 90 days is permissible in non-commercial matters at the court's discretion. Condonation of delay beyond 90 days is not permissible even with justifiable cause, or the defendant's application for condonation of delay was accepted by the court. The correct answer is option C. In this case, the Delhi High Court rejected the defendant's application for condonation of delay beyond the 90-day limit. The court observed that the Delhi High Court rules set a procedural limit, and although a liberal view can be taken, the rule cannot be completely ignored. The court referred to the case Ram Saroop Lugani versus Nirmal Lugani to emphasize that the court has jurisdiction to condone delays only up to 90 days, not beyond that. Hence, C is the correct option. Next, in the case of Usha Balasaheb Swamy and others versus Kiran Appasu Swamy and others 2007, the Supreme Court held that the amendment of a written statement cannot be allowed if it withdraws any admission made in favor of the plaintiff. The amendment of a written statement is more restrictive than the amendment of a plaint. The court is more liberal in allowing amendments to the written statement compared to amendments to the plaint, or once a written statement is filed, no amendment can be made to it under any circumstances. The correct answer is option C. In this case, the Supreme Court emphasized that the principles governing amendments of the written statement are more liberal than those for plaint amendments. While the amendment of a plaint may not be allowed if it changes the cause of action or the nature of the claim, amendments to a written statement, including adding new defenses or inconsistent pleas, are generally permissible as long as they do not cause serious prejudice to the other party. Hence, C is the correct option. Next, which one of the following is a non-justiciable right? Right to adequate livelihood, right against exploitation, right of accused, or right to equality? The correct answer is option A. In the context of fundamental rights under the Indian Constitution, some rights are justiciable, meaning they can be enforced by the courts, while others are non-justiciable, meaning they cannot be directly enforced in a court of law. Hence, A is the correct option. Next, pick the odd one out. Article 25. It guarantees the freedom of profession, practice, and propagation of religion to all citizens. Article 26. It guarantees the freedom to manage religious affairs. Article 27. It guarantees freedom as to payment of taxes for the promotion of any religion, or none of the above. The correct answer is option D. All the given options are correctly matched with their respective provisions in the Constitution. Hence, D is the correct option. Next, which judgment highlighted the requirement of a certificate under Section 65B of the Indian Evidence Act corresponding to sections of electronic evidence in BSA for admissibility of electronic records? State and City of Delhi versus Navjot Sandhu, Anwar PV versus PK Bashir, Dolly Rani versus Manish Kumar Chanchal, or both A and B? The correct answer is option D. Both A and B, these landmark cases remain relevant to interpreting electronic evidence under the new law. Hence, D is the correct option. Next, according to principles often discussed regarding evidence law and now relevant to the BSA, when can a witness's memory be refreshed? Only in front of the judge? While under examination with the permission of the court? Never, or only if they are a child witness? The correct answer is option B. According to the principles of evidence law and as relevant to the BSA, presumably referring to evidence-related provisions, a witness's memory can be refreshed during the testimony if they are unable to recall certain facts or details. It allows a witness's memory to be refreshed while under examination with the permission of the court. Hence, B is the correct option. Next, in which case was the doctrine of frustration of contract, section 56, discussed in India? Satyabrata Ghosh versus Mugniram Bangur and Co., Taylor versus Caldwell, Hadley versus Baxendale, or both A and B? The correct answer is option A. The doctrine of frustration of contract is discussed under section 56 of the Indian Contract Act, which deals with the impossibility of performance of a contract due to an unforeseen event that makes performance impossible, illegal, or radically different from what was agreed. Hence, A is the correct option. Next, in which landmark case was it held that an agreement with a minor is void ab initio? Chinnaya versus Ramaiya, Mohori Bibi versus Dharmodas Ghosh, Suraj Narayan versus Sukhu Ahir, or Nihal Chand versus Jan Muhammad Khan? The correct answer is option B. In the landmark case of Mohori Bibi versus Dharmodas Ghosh 1903, the Privy Council held that an agreement with a minor is void ab initio from the beginning under section 11 of the Indian Contract Act. According to this case, a contract entered into by a minor is not legally binding as minors are not considered capable of entering into contracts. In this case, Dharmodas Ghosh, a minor, had entered into a contract to mortgage his property. The court ruled that the contract was void because a minor cannot legally be bound by a contract even if he or she has given consent. Hence, B is the correct option. Next, which of the following is a limitation on the appellate powers under the CPC? The appeal can only be based on questions of fact. The appellate court may not be reopened the evidence on record. The appellate court can always summon new evidence, or the appeal is only allowed if the plaintiff requests it. The correct answer is option B. Under the Civil Procedure Code, the appellate powers are limited. The appellate court may not reopen the evidence on record. As per Order 41 of the CPC, the appellate court cannot reopen the evidence. The appeal is primarily concerned with reviewing the judgment and findings based on the evidence already on record. New evidence can be admitted only under exceptional circumstances, such as in the case of Order 41 Rule 27, where new evidence is allowed in certain situations. Hence, B is the correct option. Next, the last question is, which of the following statements regarding the provision of zero FIR under BNSS is correct? It has been abolished to reduce misuse. It can only be filed at the police station where the offense occurred. It allows victims to file FIRs at any police station regardless of jurisdiction, or it applies only to offenses against women. The correct answer is option C. Zero FIR, though a concept recognized earlier through judicial pronouncements, is formally recognized under BNSS. It allows the victim to file an FIR at any police station irrespective of the territorial jurisdiction. This is particularly useful in cases of urgency or where immediate intervention is necessary. Once registered, the FIR is transferred to the appropriate police station for further investigation. This provision reinforces the victim-centric approach of BNSS. Hence, C is the correct option. Now it's time for the practice question. The question is, which of the following is not guaranteed under Article 19? Right to freedom of speech and expression, right to assemble peacefully and with arms, right to form associations or unions or cooperative societies, or right to move freely throughout the territory of India. Send the answer to this question in the comment section. That's all for today's MCQ session. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the Drishti Judiciary YouTube channel. See you in the next session. Keep preparing.